Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2001 second round draft pick from the University of Vanderbilt, linebacker Jamie Winborn, man.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening, Bay Area? Everybody, man, what's going on? What's good?
Yeah, tell everybody where they can find you or any of the social media.
Oh yeah, y'all can find me on my Instagram at Jamie Winborn. That's JamiWinborn, and my name Jamie Winborn on Facebook as well. And I believe my Twitter is Jamie Winborn 55. I have a couple of those, but I think that's the main one. Yeah, you can find me on all of those, man, and mainly Facebook and Instagram though.
So let's discuss about your playing days, like your 49er playing days. What was it about your when you first began coming into the Bay Area? What was it like?
Man, you know what? The Bay Area was all the way live for me, man. Man, I won't lie. I was always out there in the city. I'm one of those people. When I get there, I wanna meet the people in the city. So, I was in Oakland, I was in Palo Alto, I was everywhere you want to be, man. Just I wanted to meet the normal people, man, the people that are like me. Just a guy that happened to, be able to play and get drafted by the Niners. But I mean, the Bay Area treated me so good, man. I was so happy to be there. I mean, that was, my first time in California. So it was just awesome, man. Everything was awesome about it.
Yeah, what was one of your most favorite moments as a 49er, since this guy was asking this question right here?
Uh, honestly, man, out there, I really love parties that we had at T.O.'s house. T.O. used to throw some banging parties. I love that. And just the fans, man. I mean, like I said, I would be in San Francisco all the time, out there on the streets and stuff and at bars, just mingling with the fans. And man, that was just the best thing, man. Because like I said, we have the best fans ever up there, man. And people just show you love left and right. And it's just a great feeling, man. It's just a great organization to play with. So that was my one of some of my funnest times out there, as far as off the field. But on the field, just getting to play against guys like Randy Moss and Marshall Falk and, all of these tough guys, Adrian Petersons, and just being able to play against these guys, that was awesome.
Okay, so you just like you were never into football as a kid, right? Because I looked at a couple of your recent interviews, and what got you to get
Yeah,
into football?
man. I just like competing. I like to compete, man. I love competing against people, and that was my outlet as a kid. And like I said, my mom put me in football, and I played it every year since then. And you know, it was just something that was a challenge for me. It's one of those things in life that you can work and get better at, and no matter how good you think you get, there's always somebody much better, and you can always have room for improvement. So you don't find a lot of things like that in life. I mean, actually life itself is like that, but football, you have to really really work at it, and at your craft, and so that's what really pinned me to it, man. I just wanted to be the best I could be, and it was challenging.
Oh yeah, it's always a competitive game when you play football. You always want to be the best. But from what I heard a while ago, you were a cancer survivor, right?
Yes, sir. I'm a cancer survivor to this day. I just had a checkup about 2 months ago, and they said I look better than I did when I first had it. So hey, I'm rocking and rolling right now. I'm feeling good.
Hey, you're living strong. That's good, brother. I mean, there was what was like your most interesting like play that stood out? I seen a couple of some of your clips on your old channel where you got after what is that Jets quarterback or something, or the Giants or Kerry
Oh,
Collins?
Kerry Collins. Man, actually, my some of my favorite times, man, was when I was playing against Michael Vick, because that was like the biggest challenge you would have throughout a year. Facing a guy that could throw the ball and a guy that could take off and run for 80, 90 yards easily. Playing against Michael Vick was probably the best that time that I had out there. I mean, I mean, it speaks for itself. Michael Vick, man, just trying to chase a guy that fast, and you chase him, and you might get him one time, but then the next time you don't get him, and you wake up. I remember looking at Julian a lot of times saying, "Good God," I said, "That boy fast." Jules, like, yeah, he is fast. So just the mutual respect that guys had when you're playing such a dynamic weapon out there. It's like a dream come true to even be able to face a guy like that. And but we did a decent job on him. But I mean, man, that was as a team collectively and then defensively, man, we just felt like, man, that is a talent out there. So guys on offense were up watching the game. Everybody's watching the game when you play a player of that caliber. So it was pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, it must be pretty cool for the way you've been playing. I mean, playing in the NFL is a great privilege because at least you get the opportunity to play in the biggest stage and all that. So, as far as like a player, like what was one of the interesting stories of your time when you got to play with the 49ers that kind of just that nobody never knew about behind the scenes that you might want to tell us
about? Well, there's some stuff I can't tell y'all, but maybe I can share that with y'all over a couple of drinks sometime or somewhere. But I can't share everybody. But I got some for you. I want to say, man, I want to say probably Kevin. Me and Kevin Barlow, man. Me and Kevin Barlow. I mean, we had some great times together. He lived down the street from me in the subdivision behind me, and I remember one day I was at the house and Kevin calls me. It was after practice, and Kevin calls me and he's like, "Man, hey," he's like, "What you doing, big guy?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm just chilling at the house. What's up?" And he pull up outside my door, and he said, "I'm outside your house. Look out my door." And man, this man is outside my door with a and a car. I mean, a limo full of girls and stuff out there. So. I mean, that was my guy, man, and I talked to him not too long ago, probably like 3 or 4 days ago, and we were laughing about that too. And then we just talking about how we were so excited to be out there and beat 49ers, and how it was just a great city for us, man. We just both enjoyed it.
Oh man, that's kind of interesting, man. I might have to consider Kevin Barlow in the near future, man. This guy probably has some good stories too, man. But as far as you as a player, man, you just had a lot of energy on the sideline. Even though for an undersized linebacker, man, you just had the heart out there. Like even for a guy we watched you for many years a while back, and we saw the way you put the effort on the field. I mean, some people may say, man, this guy just made up for his size and just had the heart for the game a little bit, you know.
Yeah, when I played this game, and especially when I came to the Niners, man, I sold my soul for the 49ers, man. If you look back at the way I played, and some people would say that that wasn't a healthy way to play, but I laid it all on the line. I wasn't running by a guy and had a chance to dive and maybe trip him up, make the tackle. I make that tackle. I dive and I try to make that. I wanted it to be no way a guy could look at the film and say, hey, that guy wasn't giving it 110% effort and that guy's not in the game. I mean, I just love the game. I was so appreciative of the opportunity, man. Coming from where I come from, way in the backwoods of Alabama, I used to put socks in my shirt and say that I was going to be a football player when I was younger, because I couldn't afford pads at that time and I wasn't old enough to play. But I used to tell my mom, I'm going to be a football player. I'm going to be a football player. It's just something about the game, how you can take out aggression out there, and you got 50-something brothers, man. So it's just the coolest environment you could have, and then you get to go and compete against other talents across the world in front of like the whole world. So I don't have time to be tired and all that other stuff, man. I got to be live, and I'm loving it every minute of it, man. I mean, like I said, the Niners were great to me, man, and the city was great to me. So I gotta leave it all on the field for them.
Oh, that's good, man. Like you left it on the field and you got to live out your dream. Like you said, you wanted to play football and it just became your destiny a little bit. But as far as like a guy that was, I mean, you were exceptionally good for like even when we wanted to do a little bit of blitz play. Sometimes you were the guy that would get into the play and disrupt a little bit. But Was there ever like one of the best moments that comes to your mind when you made this one play that stood out to you and say, you know what, that was one of my favorite plays?
Um, yeah, I mean, I used to pride myself on fullbacks, man. That was my thing, man, because in the linebacker room, that's the part that everybody looks at and everybody sees, and how you take on lead blockers and stuff. And I remember we were playing St. Louis, and I just totally went through there and destroyed the guy. And I get up and I'm talking in the guy's face, and the referee comes over there and is like, "No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't talk to him like that." I told the ref, I said, "Man, I just destroyed this dude." So hey, yeah, I gotta let him know about it, baby. you know,
You gotta
hey,
talk. You gotta let the talking in
yeah.
there, man. That's that, bro. So
I got I
yeah,
got that I got that picture on the wall right there with the referee. You might can't see it, but it's on the wall right there with the referee telling me you can't talk to him like that, and the guy's on his knees. So that was just one of my plays I remembered though.
yeah. So how did it feel like playing with Brian Young?
Oh my God, that's like playing with a god out there on the field, man. This dude, listen, I'll give you a story about Brian Young and how he got me in trouble. So I forgot, I think we are playing the Dolphins or somebody, and Bryant comes off the ball. And, I have linebacker reads. I have to read the guard. If one guard goes this way, left, whatever. So Bryant comes off the ball and takes the lineman and just throws him to the right. So as a linebacker, hell, he threw him so good, I thought the dude was pulling. So I shuffled to the right, and then the play went the other way. Like, and everybody's like, "Man, what the hell you doing? What you doing?" So when we watched the film, I told Coach on the sideline, I said, "Coach, man, I swear I saw a dude pulling. I know the guy just pulled." And they was like, "No, I don't know. So we watched the film after that, what was that Monday or Tuesday, that Monday. And I'll be damned if I wasn't right. Bryant Young came off the ball, hit the guy, and just tossed him, and he just went flying to the right. So I thought the guy was pulling. That's the kind of strength that a guy like Bryant Young has out there. I mean, when I say he would destroy guys, Bryant used to tell me him and Dana would just turn around and they say, "Hey, we're going to take care of these guys. Hey, man, you just do what you do. You just do your thing." And I was like, good, because I don't really know much else. I don't really know how to do much else. I don't know the playbook as well as Derek and Jeff and all these other guys. I run and I make plays. That's what I do. They said, so you just do what you do. And man, it just worked out. It was working out for us. That was my guy,
Yeah,
man. Brian is, I mean, I'm what Hall of Fame guy, of course, all of that, man. Well deserving. Always in the weight room. I never seen him miss a rep. Never seen him miss a bench press. Nothing. Always working hard, man. Just and such a great guy off the field that it's amazing, So that's my dude, man. I love Bryant Young.
yeah, he's one hell of an exceptional player. Like him and Dennis Stubblefield, which I met Dennis Stubblefield like one time at the event, but I mean, other than that, it was like him and Brian Young were like a deadly duel together. They were just like right in the front, like all that. Like I remember like a time where you were just in that sideline and you almost ripped that dude's head off on that one play. How the hell do you do that? I'm like, how the hell number 55 does that? And I'm like thinking we were at one point. At one point when I was a kid, I was watching. I'm like, who's that number 55 guy, man? He just went nuts.
Hey, man, I learned how to play that game. Well, Coach Richard Smith used to teach us and just tell us, you want to be ferocious out here. You want guys to fear of running by us and fear coming anywhere near us. And that was the goal. And Derek Smith, of course, he's a headhunter. Jeff Albrecht, Julian Peets, all those guys. I was learning a lot from those guys. And the intensity that they brought, I just followed suit. That's all it really was, man. And I didn't like offensive players. I still don't like them to this day. My neighbor's an offensive quarterback, and me and him get to it all the time about stuff. And I keep telling them I play defense, and I'm for defense for life. So we argue in football games. We watch games together. So we still argue to this day.
Oh man, so yeah, I guess defense wins championship in that mindset. So
Exactly.
as far as like you being a teammate with a lot of people who I recently interviewed last week, how was it like playing with Mike Rump? I mean, this guy
Hey,
was interesting.
man. Hey, that's the you right there, baby. Mike Rump, I mean, just a phenomenal talent, man, and a guy that just could do so many things. When Mike came, man, Mike fit in perfectly, man, because he was energetic and he loved to hit. Oh man, Mike Rump loves to hit, and he was just an awesome player, man. And good guy off the field as well. I love Mike. Mike's always been one of my high priority guys. Kind of try to take him under my wing as well. But he didn't need much, man. Mike was already ready to roll. He came from a great university and stuff too, and he fit right in with us. So it was awesome playing with him. He talked noise too.
Yeah, like he told me a lot of interesting stories where he actually made a lot of hits and people were like saying that hurt or something like that. And yeah, dude, like I've seen you like from playing with other teammates before, like besides BY, there was one guy that people don't really talk about as much to this day is Ahmad Plummer. What was he like as a person? Like I never.
Ahmed was a real holy type of guy, religious. I say holy. Good God, I've been watching too much TV. He's a real religious guy, and I mean, a really religious guy. But when on the field, I mean, he's a complete competitor. Ahmed's gonna compete to the end of every play, the end of every down, until the clock rolling runs out, and he'll hit you, and he'll intercept the ball. I mean, a phenomenal player. I mean, that's why they paid him all that money, because the guy could play and he's consistent. But I enjoyed playing with him. You had all these guys that were, trash talkers and this and that, and then you had Mike on one side, and then you had Ahmed on another side that was just totally not like the rest of the guys. But when it came to playing football, he was just like us. Sometimes even worse. I mean, he was a feisty guy on the field. But other than that, I mean, like I said, he was a real straight arrow type of guy. I've never been to a club with him, seen him out anywhere, anything like that. I mean, he was strictly by the book, religious guy. So, but a great player.
Yeah, like I remember at the time we drafted him, this guy was a shutdown corner, but it's like injuries kind of derailed him at some point, like at that point. But okay, so what was it? What was it like being around To, man? A lot of people had those intriguing stories about To as a person, man. To had some good personality, but what was it that you got to witness behind To, behind the scenes, man? That it had to be
Man,
interesting.
T.O. is my dude, man. I tell everybody all the time, I say, listen, I never seen anybody work harder than T.O. I've never seen anybody talk trash and go out and back it up every time. And he's going to speak his mind, and he's going to give you everything he has to the end. I remember some games in the whole first half, we haven't thrown this guy a ball yet. We haven't thrown him a ball. And then everybody wants to go crazy when he's like, throw me the ball, give me the ball. To the point where the defense was over there like, throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. He needs the ball. I mean, the guy, what was it? 2000, I can't remember the date. 2004, 1, something like that. We were playing Atlanta when we won we made it to overtime, and he ran that real route and ran up. I don't think T.O. touched the ground any of that game. He either caught the ball running out of bounds. He didn't go down. Like his uniform was completely. He never touched the ground the whole game, and I don't think he caught a ball in the first half. And then I think the second half, I think he had what, probably he had 3 touchdowns, like 180 something yards, and probably like 6 or 7 catches or something like that. And I mean, the guy's just tremendous, man. I mean, you don't run across talents like T.O. You just don't run across guys like that. Calvin Johnson was awesome. All these guys were awesome, but T.O. was a guy that he was looking to punish defenders out there, and you had to stand up and watch him when you were on the sideline when he was playing. That's my dude. I know T.O. He's from 15 minutes from my hometown. Actually, I'm the guy that when we were talking about, get your popcorn ready and all of that with the popcorn. Me and him was talking about that before in the locker room, and he was saying, "Man, you better be ready today. You better be ready today." And I said, "Man, you ain't gonna do that out there." He said, "You better get your popcorn ready." I said, "Man, get my popcorn ready." He said, "Cause it's finna be a show." I said,
I always never
"Yeah."
understood the I always
That's
never
what he.
understood the phrase by him when he said that. Like anytime he had those little like those Mike Wire things where he would say, "I want to know if you want to get your popcorn ready" and all that, and everybody was all getting pumped.
If you
Yeah,
look
but
back on one of them when he's standing up on the sideline and he's like, "Get your popcorn ready," he was actually talking to me. I was sitting down on the bench because we always had this thing in the middle of the games. He'd come by me and he'd say, Man, I ain't heard your name all day. I tell him I ain't heard your damn name all day. I ain't heard your name all damn day. And then, I make a play though. He'll come back and be like, all right, good play. He make a play. I tell him, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Now that's T.O. That other guy, I don't even know him. We just talk. We had that thing with each other, where it was motivating. But T.O. knew that I've always been his biggest fan. You're from 10 minutes from my hometown. You're from Alexander City. I'm from Wetumpka, Alabama. And Fred Beasley was from Montgomery, Alabama. We're the only guys there. You know what I mean? So I'm always rooting for you. But yeah, a lot of people didn't know where that popcorn thing came from and what that really meant. What it really meant was it's showtime. You're getting ready to see a show. So sit down and get you some popcorn and maybe some Coke because you're finna see the T.O. show, baby.
T.O., man, like you're gonna like him or hate him. That's the mentality, man. He loves to be hated. That's the motto.
Hey,
they love to hate me.
If he's on your team, you love him. If he's not on your team, you're gonna hate him.
Exactly. That's just how some felt like for your playing days, man. Like it's pretty interesting. Yeah, being a 49er, was there a high standard of excellence expectation you felt without the team having to tell you? I guess this guy asked you an interesting question.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. When at that time, I mean, there was nobody close to him as far as winning championships. And when you walk into 49er organization, I mean, you got guys like Ronnie Lott coming there, Jesse Sapolo, you got Keena Turners, you know what I mean? And Jerry Rice would come back through there. He's playing for the other team. Oh, he could just walk through the facility if he wanted to. You had these guys coming back, and these are all legends. And not to mention the guys that are playing it right now, and you see the walls, and you just the 49ers was just the team to play for. If you had a choice, that's like the team you want to play for. They nobody else has won like them at that time. So that I really knew already. I'm going into a place where I just got to put my head down and work hard and earn my position. Even though I was drafted second round there, I got to earn everything that I'm getting here because this is a special organization. They carry themselves like that. People treat you like that. The fans love you like that. And I haven't even done anything, and the fans were just loving me already. I mean, if that doesn't feel good, what does? So you're at a grade A organization. So you got to go out there and give these guys all that you have, man.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like playing for that team at the time, they had those high standards, man. Like they just had a high standard of being better, and usually those legends would try to show you the way. Like from a lot of what people were telling me, like I guess Mike Rubb told me exactly. Like a lot of the legends would reach out to a lot of these current players, and they would talk to them like on a weekly basis. So, did you get any advice from some other players like that, or no?
Yeah, I mean, only when I would see him in the locker rooms and stuff like that. I saw Mike's interview as well. I didn't have, guys calling me and this and that. I had a couple guys that, would call and just check up on me, Keena and all those guys. But, but they were more so there a lot. So they would always come and tell you, hey, let's work on this. You need to work on this a little bit more, work on that and stuff like that. But that was pretty much it for me. I mean, my coach, I had such a great coach in Richard Smith. He was always pushing us to the next level as linebackers. And then I had Derek Smith, who I got to thank a hell of a lot because I remember there was a time when I was a rookie and Derek was on his 5th or 6th year, and I said something smart aleck to Derek. And he was like, well, you better hope that you make it to 5-6 years or something like that. And I always remembered that. And so everything Derek would do, I would try to do. I would try to work hard like Derek, and because Derek and Jeff Alberg worked out together, and myself and Julian Peterson worked out together. So I would always try to work hard like that. And that just always stuck to me when he said that if you make it to this to be 5-6 years, and when I got to 5-6 years, I was feeling just like how he was feeling. Like, you know what, man, it's not that easy. It is hard to make it to 5-6 years in the NFL. It is not easy. Just because you're drafted high does not mean you will make it that long. Every Tuesday, there are people out there working out and getting ready to take your position. And so I knew what he meant, that he had survived that long, and I should have some more respect on that, which I had to learn that I should put some more respect on this guy just because they've made it this long. And it's true. And I really loved him for that. And Derek Smith, all of them, they took me under the wings, showed me the ropes, man, and I just followed suit and tried to do as much as I could. I just had some injuries and stuff pop up, but other than that, I mean, it was game time for me, man. They really helped me out.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear from somebody like Derek Smith. I mean, yeah, usually the symbol of NFL does stand for not for long, so it could just your career could be done at any moment. So here's a good question by 49er Minded. He's asking, what player did you grow up emulating yourself to?
Um, I really wasn't a big fan. I didn't watch football all that much. I'd never been to a game until I got to the pros or whatever, and I really didn't have. I always, if I would say, if anything, I wanted to be a running back like Emmitt Smith. I don't know why, but I just wanted to be a damn running back because I played running back at one point in time, and then I like Dick Buckus because his style of play was my style. He's dirty. He doesn't like anybody out there, and he wants to knock somebody's head off out there. And that's how I was taught to play the game of football from the linebacker position. And so that's who I like, Dick Buckus. And I used to watch a lot of film and just watch the highlights of them, and it just get me excited. I used to like Mike Singletary, but I don't know. That kind of when I met the guy, me and him didn't click that well. So I didn't like. I didn't want. I didn't. That wasn't my guy anymore. But Dick Buckus was originally my guy anyway.
So Mike Singletary was a hard headed coach to you. Was he being too hard on you? Like, what was it like being coached by Singletary for that time being?
Man, you know what, man? Me and Mike, I don't know. I still to this day I wonder about that too, man. Me and Mike just didn't get along. Me and Mike Nolan didn't get along. They were. I was a player that was supposed to be playing football in this day and age, where guys had the freedom to wear their suits the way they want them, wear what they want to wear, kind of, flashy, kind of like to celebrate a lot and all that, because back then they didn't like that stuff. When I was playing, I was on the brinking of that. Like what T.O.'s doing, what they used to find T.O. and all those guys for all that time. Now, all of a sudden, that's how people get advertisement ads and all this other good stuff. So they didn't like the fact that I was like a flashy type of linebacker. I make plays, I dance, I do what I do. And they were kind of more wanting me to be a hard-nosed, just, I guess make a play, get up, go back to the huddle and all that. And I'm like, I don't know how to play football like that. And that's kind of how we knock heads. And then he wanted me to play a certain way. And I'm like, dude, I'm like leading the team in percentage plays that I play versus plays that I make. I'm like leading the team. What are you talking about? Why would I change how I cover running backs? Like that doesn't make sense. And then I tried your way, and your way wasn't working for me. So, I got to go back to what I know, And so that's kind of how we were knocking heads with each other.
Oh, I can understand where you're coming from. Like sometimes when you have communication with these coaches and they want you to do something that way, it's kind of like, wait a minute, I know what I'm doing. I think I'm doing it just fine, and they just try to get you out of place. So that's kind of like the toughest part. So out of all the times, like I guess Mike Nolan was a little bit of a hard headed coach, right?
Yeah,
He was wearing the business suit.
Both of those guys got fired quickly. That tells you what kind of coaches they were. And they weren't. That's what it was. Mike Nolan is a great defensive coordinator. That's what he is. But a head coach, he just wasn't. He's just not ready for that. He's not. That's not what he was ready for at the time. He's a tremendous defense-minded coach. But for head coach, you got to kind of be open, like a Mariucci. That's the 49er way, man. The coaches were all the coaches. That's what I loved about the 49ers. And that was the 49er way. Listen, you come to practice. You show up for practice. You bust your ass at practice. Game day, you show up on the field, you show your ass up on the field, and you play hard. What you do off the field, just don't have police calling us. You can go out, you can do whatever you want to do, but you show up to practice and you show up to game day ready to play, and we have a deal. That's the 49er way. You know what I mean? They treat you like men. But these guys, they didn't want to treat you, they want to have too much control over everything that you're doing. And it's like, dude, y'all pay me all this money. Let me earn my money. Let me just do what I do. And leave me alone. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah, like when coaches are like that, they don't even let you be yourself, and you just want to be what you can be, like stand out. So if they want you to be all that class act stuff, which is the old fashioned way, but you like to have that energy, you like to fire up yourself. I
Exactly.
mean, this is what the generation is like in today's NFL. You have that kind of stuff, and still,
Exactly.
you'll get a fine here and there, but hey, this is the game of football, man. This is fun, isn't it? Supposed to be fun.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be the game that you love. So, that's how it rolls sometimes.
Yeah, and then this guy's asking, why did you leave the 49ers? It's
You
pretty
know what?
obvious.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was just talking about that. Mike Nolan, and Mike Singletary. They didn't like we knocked heads too much, and I remember that we were having problems. We were running 3-4 defense, 3-4, and then 4-3 in the middle, and we'll do 3-4 all training camp, and then the last week or two we changed back to 4-3 and stuff like that. And then they had me playing at a 6 technique on a tight end. I'm 5'11", 220 on a good day. Why am I playing 6 technique on a tight end? I'm way out of position. I don't supposed to be down there playing that. You know what I mean? That's for guys that are 6'3", 250. So I knew I wasn't gonna. My buddy Andre Carter, they wanted him to start pass dropping, and he was like, "Man, I don't do pass dropping and all that." And I said, "Listen, Dre, you work with me on some couple ways to rush the passer, and I'll work with you on that. And we work together trying to just make it through this craziness that these coordinators are doing and this head coach and what they're trying to do right now. We're both like, we don't want to do this, but we're going to have to." So I started the first 2-3 games. I was leading in sacks, leading in tackles. All of a sudden, they come and say, "Hey, we're getting ready to trade you," and that was the end of it. So I mean, it was okay, I mean, but they didn't trade me right away. They didn't. They I was sitting home 5 weeks, and it was my contract year, and it was just making teams wonder, like, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? And that was what I had to deal with in the free agent market, because they kept thinking I did something wrong, and I was like, no, I didn't do nothing wrong. I was leading in this category, leading in that category, and it was time for Andre to start. And of course he's going to start. He's a number 7 pick. But y'all just asked him to pass drop. He's been a defensive end all of his life. So he had to work at it, and he was ready now. So I guess they wanted me out of there, which was okay. I mean, they had the option to do that. So, and that's how that went. But I'm still a Niner for life. Whether they traded me or not, I was drafted to the Niners. My name's in there on the wall, right there on the right, too. When you walk in, it's on the wall, baby. They can never take that.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Once you're in that organization, there's no getting out of it. So it's like you got it in you. So what was it like playing for Andre Carter since you were kind of bringing it up a little
You
bit
ain't
because this
playing
guy's
who playing with Andre Carter?
yeah.
Yeah, man, that's my guy. I talk to Andre all the time. He's probably got a son that's just gonna be awesome at everything, all 20 sports. That dude's awesome. But Andre was an awesome dude, man. He could do stuff on the field because he's really good at that karate, man. He's like a 3-time black belt or something like that. And he would just toss guys around like kind of like martial arts on the field. It's like slamming a 350-pound guy, just twisting him and all that kind of stuff. And it was just amazing to watch him, man. And I mean, he's just built like a god. I mean, the guy's probably got 2% body fat. It's about 265, 6'5". I mean, Andre was just a funny guy to play with. I mean, he was always laughing and always, you pissed him off, he was going to make a play. I mean, he was just a great guy, man. I love Andre, man. That's my brother to this day, man.
Yeah, I guess he had some good technique when it came to that karate stuff. I guess it kind of came in handy a little bit for him.
Yes, sir.
So as far as like all the times you play with the 49ers, the one that stands out the most from what I'm hearing is Tony Parrish. Like, what was it like to play with that guy, man? The guy must have had some good
T-
personality.
oh yeah, TP, man, TP, Tony Parrish. Hey, listen, Tony, another one of them God gifted guys, built like a god. Tony probably has less than 1% body fat. I mean, these playing with Tony was smart as a whip out there. I mean, he knew what was coming. He knew what was coming. I mean, and all he tell you, you just got to be where I tell you to be. Because safeties talk to the linebackers, and he would tell me that. He said, "Hey, you just be down there. You just be where I tell you to be, and we're gonna make a play. We're gonna make a play." And I just enjoyed that about him, man. Tony was a good dude, on and off the field. And he always brought his damn dog to practice with him, and in the locker room, he had this golden pit bull that would look like a monster, and used to bring him in the locker room all the time. He went everywhere Tony went. But yeah, Tony was a big playmaker for us. We were really happy to get him.
Yeah, because he was coming from the Bears, but I remember they gave him this nickname a while back called Chocolat.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, Chocolat. Yeah, Tony Paris. I mean, hey, he deserved that name. He deserved that name. It's a long story behind him, but he deserves that name. Trust me.
Yeah, I remember watching it a while back on the website. A while back, they would talk about Tony Parrish, and then they would give him that nickname. Oh, hey, Chocolat! Hey, Chocolat! and then Tony would be like, "Oh, I guess that's my name since now." And then, okay, as far as like the running back, what was the hardest running back you ever faced that you had a hard time tackling? Like, if you had to name one.
Marshall Faulk was. You have two different types of hard. When it talks about agile and it's hard to just get him down, I would say Marshall Faulk. For some strange reason, I don't know, he doesn't have a muscle in his body or any of that stuff, man. The dude's just a God-gifted gifted guy, man. He's just tough to tackle. I mean, you really have to gather yourself up and just be right there. You have to gather yourself up and gather all control and be ready to take off again and stuff with him. I think he was really tough in that respect. And Jamal Lewis, to me, was a tough guy. Adrian Peterson was tough. Adrian Peterson was a tough running back.
What about Steven Jackson?
Oh, heck yeah. Steven Jackson, I mean, he's a beast. I mean, the dude's too big. I mean, he's just one big wrecking ball. Steven Jackson was tough to tackle. I think the way that we played him, I didn't mention him because of the way we played him. I was always having 9 times out of 10, they wanted to stretch the field out a lot. So I'd always be coming from outside in to tackle him from the outside in. I was never really having to tackle him from. They didn't want to have like a really big pounding football game. They want to spread you out, give him the dives and stuff like that. Give him those kind of plays where the linebackers are spread out already. But he's definitely tough to tackle. You damn sure feel it when you tackle the guy.
Oh yeah. Okay, if we're talking other tough running backs, what was it like tackling Jerome Bettis, man? That guy was a big, huge bowling ball. Like, this dude was like a big dude.
Man, like, he a big dude. He a big dude, but Jerome, you got to get Jerome. You need to hit him. You need to hit him before he starts going. Because he's as big as he is, he's quicker on his feet than people ever think. He could cut and he can move and sidestep you and all of that kind of stuff. You just got to get him before he gets rolling. But he's a load. I mean, Jerome's a load. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's a tough running back to get. If you don't catch him right away and you got an open field tackle or something like that on him, man, it might not be a good day for you.
Yeah, for some reason it won't. So what was your thoughts on seeing yourself on the video game Madden?
Man, I was just shocked. I was just like, I think they got my speed wrong. I think I faster than what they said, but they had me pretty good on there and stuff, though. I just, of course, everybody thinks their Madden should be better than what it is, but I was so happy, man, because that's what people ask me to this day. I've been done 11 years now, and guys always ask me, "Are you on the Maddens back then? Are you on the Maddens? Can I put you in the Madden?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on the Madden." If you go back to the teams, you can put me in on the Madden, and that's it's like a big deal for them, and it is a big deal for me too, man. That's something I got all of the Madden games and stuff in there just for my kids because my kids were young, but I only have girls and I have one stepson, so he's the only one probably gonna play any of the Madden, but I want them to be able to see me when I was able to do my thing,
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It has to be an honor to at least be on Madden, despite where they ranked you at. Even though you said the speed was wrong and a little bit of everything, but Man, so okay, so what was your think about Bill Walsh? Have you ever met him before or no?
No, Bill Walsh was a great coach. I did a lot of film study and a lot of stuff on on watching him and stuff. He was a brilliant coach, man, a brilliant mind. Um, that's the thing, just a mellow dude, man. Bill Walsh is the 49ers. The way that he was, and all that stuff. He's just the type of guy that he treats you like a grown man. We got you, you drafted stuff like that. He just wanted people to do what they're supposed to do. And he wanted people to stay out of trouble and stuff like that. And that's all you can expect from you want you want a coach to treat you like a man. That's what all players are looking for. Treat me like a man, and that's the ultimate respect given each way. I can respect that you need me to do it this way and do this and that, and that's it. As long as you come out here and do what you're supposed to do, let's roll. But one thing we got to do is we got to win. We need to win.
Yeah,
That's all he was. Yeah, win, because that's the 49 way.
yeah, we gotta win. So
We need to win. I mean,
yes, yeah. Speaking of your 49er days, what was it like playing at Candlestick Park, man? What was it really like?
daytime, it was cool. It was awesome. Daytime was awesome. Sun's out, all that good stuff. But nighttime, man, that wind coming off the water. Some games we go out there and we're like, look, man, we may not be able to kick field goals today. The wind may be swooping too much, and then the temperature drops. You know what I mean? But it was awesome playing there, man. I loved it. I mean, I love driving to the game, going down them hills and stuff, and you see people outside stuff. I used to leave early and talk to people outside. I get out my car and be out there just kicking the mess with guys outside. About what the game that we'll get ready to play, because I have to show up hours early or whatever. But it was just awesome. I really loved it, man. Candlestick Park was special, man. That's a special place to play. A lot of love,
Yeah, it
memory
is.
there.
Yeah, it is with the atmosphere and the vibe. But what's the difference between going to Levi Stadium in that way? Because I mean, I think I've seen you go into Levi Stadium before.
To Levi Stadium, you mean the which one is that? That's the new one.
Yeah, that's the new one from 2014. Did you attend? Did you ever attend it towards that stadium before, to where you visit as one of those
Well,
people?
that's the one in Santa Clara, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
that's the
one in
one.
Santa
Yeah,
Cruz.
yeah. I went there. What was that? Last year? 2 years ago? Might have been 2 years ago. Yeah, it was, because COVID was last year. I was an honorary captain there, man. That thing is crazy. I mean, when I went there, it was just different. Um, because traffic is routed one way type thing. It was just different going in there. Back at Candlestick, you could go through neighborhoods and stuff there, because the Candlestick's like right on the back of neighborhoods and stuff. That was the difference between that one. This one's more, Levi's more, it's just in the middle of a lot of .com stuff, and it's not a lot
In
of
business
residential.
areas too.
Yeah, business
Yeah.
district, so traffic's diverted. But it was fun. I had a great time. I mean, that's a hell of a stadium there.
Yeah, even though it's still not home field advantage quite yet, but it'll take some time. But
Hmm.
okay, so this guy's asking a question. Since I mean, do you still follow the team in general? But what's your thoughts on Trey Lance? I mean, this guy's asking a question here.
Okay, hey man, listen. I really like that kid, Trey Lance. I think that Trey Lance at some point will play. Maybe earlier than a lot of people are thinking. See, this is what's happening. Jimmy is a great quarterback, and Jimmy's our best chance to win right now. Because he has the experience. He's been through some stuff, but we just don't know what Trey can do on down the line. But as far as ability and what we're seeing out of him, the guy's got a cannon. He's making some good decisions. But but the thing is, like I say, he's not facing the very best competition yet. Now that's one thing. He's facing some second string guys and stuff like that right now. But I don't think Jimmy has the ability to go out and throw, you know, 3 picks in a game. I definitely don't. He may never see the field again.
Yeah,
That's
that
just
would be the only part right there. But
yeah.
so all right, we'll get to the last question here for you. Who was the most underrated teammate you played both in personality in the locker room? I guess this guy's asking the question. Luke Luna.
Okay, the best teammate I had personality wise.
Yeah.
You know, I really Brandon Lloyd. Brandon Lloyd was when Brandon Lloyd came to the team. He was good from day one, and this guy, he was a rapper. Back then, nobody was rapping and all of that kind of stuff like that. This guy had the big chain on it, and he was rapping, and he could rap. He had really good music, all of this stuff, and he would be in the locker room rapping, and he was just a funny guy and always upbeat guy. And and it showed in his career. I mean, the guy kept playing, and he played a long time. But Brandon Lloyd was, a lot of people didn't say much about him, but he came in making the spectacular catches right off the rip. Right from the very first day at practice, man, he was always shining, and he kept that going. But as far as personality, man, there was nobody like him. He was a special guy, always rapping, always got a new song he made last night, that kind of thing. So, I love Brandon Lloyd, man. He was a good dude.
Oh yeah, Brandon Lloyd. I remember this guy. He was our fourth round pick from 2003 from
Yes.
Illinois. This guy made I remember a time he was making this one-handed catch against the Eagles, or was it the Rams game? He made that ridiculous catch. Like it was like kind of like a Randy Moss type play. I was like, how the heck did he do that?
It's like, he's been doing it since the day he got there, man. The dude's always done that, and he's always, like I said, he's always rapping. And before the game, he's rapping. He's rapping his own songs though. That's what used to make us laugh. Like, Brandon, you're your biggest fan, but he is his biggest fan, and he loved what he did, and he was always excited, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was a very unique talent. Like, I guess for some reason he didn't get a lot of opportunities until he played in Denver. That's when he broke out the most. But I think if he would have got more opportunities, I think he would have been fine. But I think I've heard a lot of personality issues behind the locker room. I don't know if there was any facts with what led him to leave San Francisco, but that will be yet to be discussed another time.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Kyle Shanahan as a head coach? Yeah.
I think he's a good coach, man. I think he caught some bad breaks, here and there, within some games, and some players going down. And I think did a tremendous job that year. All of the backs were going out. I don't know how many running backs we had go down. I think this is a make or break type year for him. That's what I do think. I think he has to go out there and he has to do something special this year. The league is, I don't know why, but the league is real cutthroat right now with that. And guys are expecting the 49ers want to be back in that Super Bowl hunt, and this is a make or break year, just like it is for players, it is for coaches as well. So I think he has to get out there and get those guys ready to roll and put them in show some real good potential there. I think that's what he's got to do. But I mean, he's done a good job as a head coach there.
I mean, no doubt. Like, even though the record doesn't say a lot, but when he has the team healthy, they're very competitive. The offense has gotten better under him. It's just our defense has been really competitive too. But a lot of the injuries, people keep blaming on him. But you can't control whatever. You can't control the training staff. You can't control that. It just depends on the player's health. If they can't stay healthy, it's kind of hard. And you got to get some good depth also. So that would be the main key. So if we can get some good backups, maybe we can get you back on the field. Not just playing.
Hey, listen, I might pull a hamstring in warm-ups, baby. I can talk a lot of noise, but that's all I can do for you right now, baby.
Yeah. So as far as everything else, man, I think we're good. Like you said, I appreciate you coming into the stream. Maybe in the near future, whenever you got the free time or whatever, I'm open to collaborate. I even said the same with Rump also. You guys are pretty exceptionally good people. I like your energy. I got to admit, man.
Appreciate it, man. I thank you so much, man. I thank everybody for listening and all the Niner fans out there. And we're going to be good this year, baby.
All right, hell yeah, man. I agree on that, man. They're enjoying the show a little bit. They're asking you some good questions. They like your energy. They like how you're not sugarcoating or nothing, man. You're just talking facts, man. That's good stuff.
Well, I ain't got nothing else to do. You know, I ain't got a job right now. I'm retired. So I'll be here all day talking noise and talking football, baby.
Pretty much, man. But let me know in the near future, man. I'm open for another collaboration, man. But you definitely have dude, a lot of the fans were waiting for some other Niner player. They were digging the rump, but they were digging you a lot more now. They like your energy better. So I gotta say, man.
Hey, well, I
Oh yeah.
appreciate it, man. Hey, anytime y'all want me to come on or something, man, y'all just hit my line, man. You know how to reach me. Hit my line. Hey, I'm always welcome, man.
All right, for sure, man. I appreciate it. Man, it's got to be an honor to at least talk to a guy who played linebacker for the 49ers, man. He wore number 55.
5'5" speed limit, baby. Thank y'all, man.
All right, man. For sure, man.
Here we go.
All right, guys. That's the interview. Huge shout out to Jamie Winborn. Thank you for being my guest. And as far as the stream, CG Ruthless Sports is out. And you already know it's Go Niners all day, every day.